I had no problems eating healthy. I was just simply eating way too much. And this was extremely frustrating because I would look at other people and they would be eating kind of whatever they want. They would eat like donuts and bagels and chips and a bunch of processed foods. They'd be eating out all the time and they looked really good. And then there was me who cared so much about the quality of food I was consuming. I was batshit consistent with my workouts. I would have time every single week to make sure I was cooking healthy, nutritious meals. Like that was a standard for me. I was cooking nutritious meals. I was getting up early to do my workout. I remember in high school, college, and university, I would get up before class to do my workouts. People would come into class and they're like, I'm so tired. And I'm like, I've been up for 2 hours. I went to the gym. I did my workout. I had a healthy breakfast. And so I felt like I was eating so healthy. I was working out no problem. But why do I not feel confident in my own skin? Why am I feeling bloated and heavy and lethargic and I don't feel like I look good? And there's these other people who aren't even eating healthy foods. They're not even working out and they looked good. Like they were confident. It was the most frustrating thing. And after I stopped dieting, I was no longer restricting myself. I was having satisfying meals. Like I wasn't just eating plain chicken and plain broccoli. I used to do that. I started having satisfying meals. Like I actually enjoyed the meals that I was eating. And if you are somebody who likes eating healthy, I'm sure you actually enjoy it. Like you're not forcing yourself to eat healthy. It just comes naturally for you. Like you don't want to be eating shit foods. You're like, I love eating healthy. It helps with my workouts. I want to have energy. It's good for my mental health, right? Hi, Kirsty. So good to see you on. And so I was enjoying these meals. Like I would have a variety of foods. One day for lunch, I would have chili. Another day, I would have like pasta with chicken thighs and like rice. I would just have all these different meals. Hello from Ohio. Hello. So I wasn't restricting myself. I wasn't eating plain chicken and broccoli in that way. I was having satisfying meals. How is the baby? The baby's good. My baby's going to be 3 months on Thursday, which is so wild. Time goes by so fast. Moms have always told me that. They're like, time's going to go by so fast. And I was like, yeah. But it really does go by so fast. I blinked and my son is going to be 3 months, which is wild. Thanks, Kirsty, for asking. I hope you're doing so good. So I was enjoying my meals, but I would just be eating way too much. Like I would pack my meals to work and I would bring multiple because I had a fitness studio with my husband and I would literally be there from 6 in the morning until 6 or 7 at night. So I would have to have multiple meals with me. And when it came lunchtime, I would have one meal and then I would have another meal and then I would finish my snack in like literally 20 minutes. Or I'm like, well, I want the pasta from this meal, but then I also want the chili from this meal. So I had a little bit of this, and I was just eating too freaking much. I was eating too much. And that's a problem. It doesn't matter how healthy you eat if you're still eating too much. Because this is where you're in a body that doesn't feel like it's yours. I felt like I was purposely putting on weight. I would wake up with so much anxiety because I'm like, I feel like I'm purposely putting on weight. Like this body isn't actually mine. And if you've ever experienced this, you know what I'm talking about, where it like you don't even want to show up to social events. You don't want to see people that you know, because you're like, this body, like, it's not mine. Like, no. I've been overeating. So this isn't actually what I look like. And it's so hard to explain to people because if people have never experienced this, they don't get it. But I felt like the body that I was in wasn't actually mine. It was not a true representation of how healthy I love to eat. I'd see people not giving a crap what they're eating and like feeling good in their own skin. And then there'd be me. And I'm like, I'm literally cooking every single week. I bring my home cooked meals. I don't eat out often. I work out no problem. I get up early. I go for my walks. I go to my yoga. I do my workouts. I eat healthy. And I'm bloated and I feel so full all the dang time. And I had a realization. The only way that I'm going to feel good in my own skin, damn, algorithm for the win. Well, hello. I'm happy you're here. I had this realization that the only way that I would feel better in my own skin, like my body was a true representation of how healthy I like to eat, is I needed to stop overeating. Because it doesn't matter how healthy you like to eat. You're not going to feel comfortable in your own skin if you can eat super healthy, but then come in the evenings, you're having, even 5 cookies and dates and almond butter and then granola and yogurt. Like, it doesn't even matter how healthy you like to eat. Like, the snacks that I would binge on in the evenings would be like my mom's homemade almond flour cookies or these almond butter bars or dates and almond butter. Like, it wasn't unhealthy things. I was just eating too much. Kristen says, I have a baking business and I keep binging on the leftovers. I don't have control. I had a client that I worked with. She was incredible and she had a baking business as well too. And she started working with me because she's like, it's crazy. I have to bake for all these people, but then I just end up eating all the things that my clients don't eat. And it's not that you don't have control. I want you to take that verbiage out of your language, because if you keep on telling yourself, I don't have control, that will become your reality. So it's not that you don't have control. It's that right now you're having these urges, right? It's like this out of body experience, but it's not that you don't have control. It's that you have an unhealthy relationship maybe with the cookies or the brownies or whatever you're making. It's like, I probably shouldn't have this food, right? So right now you're probably thinking, I don't even want to start having these because I'm going to spiral into a binge. So maybe you subconsciously try not to have it, but then you'd feel deprived. And then when you do end up having it, you go balls to the wall, right? There can be so many different things. But I even know for a lot of the clients that I work with, it's often like, it's a slippery slope. I don't want to bake these foods. I'm not even going to have one. I'm not even going to have one, because as soon as I have one, I have 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then I spiral out of control. So I'm not going to have any, but you want some. And then that's when you have these urges. And then eventually when you give in, you are so impulsive that 1 or 2 isn't satisfying. You need 4, 5, 6 because you're eating now with impulse. So back to what I was sharing about eating super healthy. So it is beautiful if you love eating healthy, but I understand how frustrating it can be if you feel like I'm sabotaging. Like, you're eating super healthy, you're working out, you have these great habits, but you're not happy with the body that you're in. You're feeling uncomfortable all the time, and that is because you are overeating. And so how I stopped overeating, there's so many different things that I did, but the first thing that I was even talking to my clients about is you need to get comfortable being uncomfortable. Meaning, when you are comfortably full, it's not comfortable. Like, I used to not even be able to go back to work. I'm like, I was so used to eating past fullness, I could not function if I wasn't full. And that it seems so backwards to people. People would be like, no, if I eat too much, I can't concentrate. But for me, I felt like it was a safety thing of like feeling so uncomfortably full felt safe for me. Like, I can't go back to work. I'm going to be thinking about the other meals that I want to eat, the other snacks that I want to be eating. And so I had to retrain myself to actually sit in the discomfort to say, listen, the only way you're going to stop overeating is if you actually stop when you're comfortably full and your brain sees this as a healthy level of fullness. We're safe here. We can stop here. And it was hard. It was hard. Like, people would, you probably have been told, like, no distractions, just be with yourself. And I'm like, I'm not gonna like stare at the freaking wall, twiddle my thumbs as I'm eating. That's boring. Well, slow down your meals. Okay, take your time and like, take your time or whatever it is. And it's like, I had things to do. Like, I'm sure you got things to do. Like, not everyone has, 45 minutes to eat their lunch, right? And so I'm like, okay, that's not going to work for me. But what I needed to do is I needed to stop when I was comfortably full and remind myself that I was safe. Why it doesn't stop even though you feel okay with urges. I'm not really sure what you mean by that comment. So it's uncomfortable, you guys, like rewiring your brain and creating new healthy habits in your brain. It's not easy. But for me, it's like I've always wanted to still eat healthy. I just wanted to like be proud of how I was eating at the end of the day, because it was like, I'm so confused. I eat so healthy, but I don't feel like I eat healthy because I was sabotaging, because I was binging, because I was eating past fullness at every single one of my meals. And so there's nothing that feels better when you actually are proud of how you're eating. Like, you're going to end up going to social events and rock whatever outfit you want, not even because of the way you look, but because of how well you know you're taking care of yourself. My confidence started freaking skyrocketing through the freaking roof when I stopped my overeating because I was proud of how I was eating. It felt like, yeah, this body, it's a true representation of how well I take care of myself. So stopping when you're full is not just about just stop when you're full. It helps you actually be in a body that feels like yours. You feel so much more confident meeting new people, showing up to social events, going to that yoga class. I was so insecure in who I was and in my own skin because people would look at me like, oh, you're so healthy, you work out all the time. But I'm like, I don't look like that. I didn't look like that because I was overeating. I was sabotaging. And one time somebody made a comment actually. And it was very like, people like kind of like say a comment like that. And someone said something about like closet eating. And I was like, well, I ate in secret all the time. I'm not going to binge in front of other people. And so that was also tough to work around too, because it's like when you are eating so healthy in front of other people, everyone's like, you're so healthy. Oh my gosh, you never have dessert. And then you go home. And again, even if you're eating healthy foods, you're binging on it. You're overeating. Like I would have yogurt with strawberries and then 2 homemade cookies and then more granola. Like I would have coconut clusters with almond milk and then like protein powder and then fruit. It was healthy. I didn't need 3 bowls, right? And so it doesn't matter if what you're binging on. It's like if you're eating too much, you're eating too much. But it's frustrating because you feel like, well, then I'm eating healthy, but it doesn't really matter because I don't feel like I'm eating healthy. So you need to stop the overeating. That's going to help you feel proud of how you're eating, because how you're eating is actually a reflection of how much you actually enjoy eating healthy. You're going to be in a body that actually feels like yours because it is a true representation of how well you take care of yourself. It's like I went from feeling so insecure at my yoga classes to literally putting on the cutest freaking outfits and rocking it, feeling so confident in my class because I don't overeat. I actually know that I take care of myself. Not much has changed from when I was in college and university to now. I've always eaten healthy. I was always working out. I'd always get up early. I'd always prioritize sleep. But what changed was I healed my relationship with food. I got comfortable stopping when I was comfortably full, and I no longer overeat. That has shifted my confidence. That's shifted how I felt in my own skin. That's impacted my relationship with my husband. It impacted my mood. I'm not snappy. I'm not irritable anymore. I love meeting new people. I freaking love dressing up. So you are that person. But what's holding you back is overeating. What's holding you back is eating way past fullness. And that makes you feel like, oh, I don't even eat healthy. Even though you do, you eat healthy. But it feels like you don't eat healthy because you're eating too much. And it is so frustrating. I get it. It's like you spend so much time cooking nutritious meals. And here's the other thing too. It was like I'd spend 3 or 4 hours on the weekend cooking all this healthy food. And then in the evening, I would literally have the 3 bowls of whatever it was, like coconut clusters with almond milk. And I'm like, I just felt like it's such a waste cooking all this nutritious foods and then eating all these other things like 4 protein bars. Like, you don't need that. I have a bad relationship with food. I used to have an eating disorder, but now I keep binging. I tell myself I'll make it to the next day, but I never do. I've learned that I can't trust myself. You can trust yourself. You can trust yourself. I was talking to a client today last week, and she was saying that she can't trust herself. And I was like, it's not that you can't trust yourself. You're just not listening. Everyone is so afraid of listening to their body. If I just listen to my body, then I'm going to overeat. No. You're overeating because you're not listening to your body. And what I mean by this is, let's say, for example, it's like, again, about the baking or whatever it is. It's like, I can't trust myself, so I'm not going to have the cookie. I got to do good. Don't even start. Then you feel deprived. You're thinking about the cookie the whole time. You're feeling impulsive. You can't think about anything else except the cookie. And then you end up going to have the cookie. And then literally you have a bunch. And you're like, see, I can't trust myself. No, it's not that you can't trust yourself. It's the first time when you had a true craving, not an urge. You had a true physical craving. You dismissed it. And so that craving intensified and it turned into an urge where all of a sudden you had 4 cookies, which makes you feel like you can't trust yourself. But if you just listened the first time when you were actually craving a cookie, you could have had 1 or 2 and felt satisfied. And I get this because that was me. Yeah, this is so real. I feel like it's a waste of time because I prepare my food and then eat other things. Yeah. And then that's a frustrating thing, right? It's like you spend so much time, like you see people who just like order in food and they don't even take time to, take care of themselves. And then there's you who's preparing some meals and dedicating time to moving your body and, just working out, going to bed early, prioritizing your sleep. And then it's like, I just had 5 meals in like 10 minutes. What if a craving turns into an urge when you give in? So it's not that a craving turns into an urge when you give in. It's that you were already impulsive when you started eating. So for example, if let's say at 12 o'clock you were wanting something sweet and you dismissed it. And then so 9 o'clock at night, you're like, okay, I'm having a craving. I'm actually going to give in. But because you actually wanted it at 12 o'clock, by the time 9 o'clock came, you were impulsive. So you're already impulsive before starting to eat. So then it feels like, oh, the craving turned into an urge when you're eating, but it was actually because you were impulsive before you even started having the donut or the cereal or the even healthy foods. Yeah, it makes sense. Perfect. I struggle massively when I weigh myself. If I gain, I find it really hard to not binge. Throw the freaking scale out the window. I see this all the time because you're putting so much meaning on that number, right? So it's like, if I weigh myself and the number on the scale goes down, I'm so happy. I love myself. Oh my God, I'm so good. Da, 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 da. And then it goes up and you're like, I'm never going to feel comfortable in my own skin. F this. My body that I feel good in is so far away. And you feel like the body you're in is like in a distant, you're like, I'm always going to feel like crap. I'm so bloated. F that. And then it literally is a trigger to binge because you feel like the body that you're going to feel most confident in is very far away. But here's the thing. If you didn't weigh yourself and you're actually feeling good, you would have prevented yourself from spiraling into a binge. I was actually talking to a client on our coaching call. I think this is the beginning of the month. She hasn't weighed herself in a long time. Months. And she stepped on the scale. And she didn't binge, but she was like, I didn't like the number. And I said to her, well, you've been feeling so good. Like, this client has not been binging in months. She's been feeling really good. And I said, if you didn't look at that number, you would have thought like you were doing fantastic. And she was like, yeah, I can't even believe, like, it's a night and day difference. I'm no longer binging. I'm more patient with my children. Like, I don't have 3 protein bars in one sitting anymore. If I'm tired, I just go to bed instead of mindlessly snacking at night. Everything has changed for her. So she's like, yeah, like, I would have been completely fine. But you're attaching meaning to that number. You're making it mean something about you. Like, you're a failure if it goes up. So you have to detach your worth, your meaning to that number and just honestly F the scale altogether. Okay, any last minute questions before we wrap up here? Right now, I am enrolling clients in my program Conquer. This is where I help you turn your binge-free days and binge-free weeks and even the random binge-free months into sustainable binge-free months. Because right now it's like you can have a few good days with food here and there. Maybe you've lasted a day or a week or maybe a few months without binging. You felt good in your own skin. You felt confident. You were happy about your food choices. But then something always ends up happening. You always end up sabotaging yourself and you always feel like you're starting back at square one. That changes inside of this program. And someone just asked, what can we do to stop it indefinitely? Come inside of Conquer. Because the thing is, the reason why you might have had, a week without binging or a month is because you're still focusing on like these quick fix tactics, right? Like, let me just try not to have the cookies, right? Let me just try not to bake. Let me try to like, okay, I want to eat healthy, so I'm just not going to have any chocolate this week. Or maybe I shouldn't eat after 7 o'clock. And even though you have good intentions because you enjoy eating healthy and you want to take good care of yourself, it's actually unhealthy what you're doing. It's like, even for myself, I was so much into like gut health and hormones. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to do intermittent fasting. It's so good for you. And that made me binge every single night. And so when you focus so much on your health, that's beautiful, but it also can be a very unhealthy where you're doing things because you want to be healthy, but it's actually causing you to spiral out of control. So this program actually is going to help you have sustainable months where you don't binge, you don't overeat, and it doesn't matter if your day gets flipped upside down, you can't get your workout in, you went out for lunch, you ate something maybe you deem as bad or off limits, or maybe you've overeaten, it's not going to spiral you into the F it mentality. I always binge and then have to cancel my plans. Yeah. I've been there, Kristen. I've been there. I used to cancel plans all the time. Even my husband now, I remember when we were first dating, I texted him like, I can't come tonight. And he's like, he thought I was like breaking up with him. He's like, is everything okay? And I couldn't tell him like, well, sorry, I just ate so much and I don't want you to touch me. I was, I don't want to tell him that. I ended up going, but the whole time I was like so uncomfortable. And again, it's like, it's so hard to be present with your loved ones. It's so hard to be intimate. It's so hard to put a smile on your face and be happy when you're literally so uncomfortable. You can't even watch the movie and enjoy it with your partner because you're so uncomfortable in your own skin. I used to go to the movie theater. I remember one time I went with a friend and I don't even think I wore a bra because I was like, I can't even put on my bra. Like, I'm so uncomfortable right now. I don't even remember what the movie was about. I couldn't even focus on that. I was like, I am literally going to burst. So things need to change, right? It's like, and this is where the tough love Lorna comes in. It's like nothing changes if nothing changes. And so it's like, you don't have to wake up feeling horrible. You don't have to eat until you're way past fullness. You don't have to feel uncomfortable in your own skin. The moment that I decided to actually go all in, heal my relationship with food, I dedicated a full year plus, like over a year. And that's why I'm over 5 years binge-free. It's going to be 6 years that I have not binge, overeaten. I don't think about food all day long. I feel amazing in my own skin. I'm 3 months postpartum. I just had my baby. I feel amazing in my own skin. And I want to help you get here too, because it's not far away. You can trust yourself. You do absolutely have control. You just don't have the tools yet. It feels like I don't trust myself. I can't control myself, but it's going to feel that way if you don't have the tools to stop eating when you're full. It's going to feel that way if you don't know how to be able to, bake your favorite cookies without eating them all in one sitting. So, you deserve to live a life where food's not the first and the last thing on your mind. You deserve to wake up every single day feeling so confident in your own skin, where the body that you're in is actually a true representation of how healthy you like to eat, how much you love to work out, and how well you actually take care of yourself. Because there's nothing more frustrating than putting in so much time working out, eating healthy, and you still don't feel good. I want to help you bridge that gap. I want to help you continue eating your healthy, nutritious meals without the all or nothing mentality if you eat something that wasn't part of your plan. I want to help you not just know when you're full, actually stop eating when you're full. I want to help you stop giving into your urges because that's not even you. That's not you. Your urges aren't you. It's this outside force. The urge is not you. And when you're eating in a way that doesn't feel like you, the body that you're in doesn't feel like yours either. And that all changes inside of Conquer. So inside of Conquer, it's a 6 or 12 month program. Again, the focus is to turn your binge-free days, the random binge-free days that you have, the random good days you have, into sustainable binge-free months without reverting to old habits. When you're on vacation, I hear this all the time. Oh, I go on vacation and then I always end up sabotaging. Or I couldn't get my workout in, I end up sabotaging. Let's stop the restarting over every single Monday. Let's stop I feel like I'm back at square one. Let's actually have you building sustainable eating habits that are going to actually be sustainable long term. This is for the person that really likes eating healthy and likes working out, but again, you say F it every single time that something goes wrong, and we're going to change that inside of this program. So you get access to all of my programs. You also get real-time coaching with me on Zoom multiple times in a month, where I'll personally coach you in a small group through your binge eating. There's no more second guessing. It's like, I don't know, like, is that a craving? Is it an urge? Like, okay, I have a wedding this weekend. Like, I'm kind of scared. Like, let's talk through it. You don't have to freaking figure this out on your own. You're going to be part of our badass community of other women cheering you on who think the same thoughts as you, who are going to help you rise into the woman that you're meant to be. So I'm enrolling new clients right now. All you got to do is message me the word conquer, and I'll send you the details. This is everything that you need. Like, there's nothing else you need. You need the tools, you need the coaching, and you need the support from other people who get you, who actually completely understand what it is that you're going through. And when you have that, it's inevitable that you will conquer for good. Not just for a week, not just for a month, and then revert back to old habits, but actually sustainably for the rest of your life. So I cannot wait to support you guys. Have a beautiful rest of your day, you guys, and we'll see you soon. Okay, take care. Bye, guys.